We're continuing to track the snow as it comes down across the Triad, including here at the WFMY News 2 Weather Garden. We've seen around an inch or so just in Greensboro. Has been over 1,000 days, almost 3 years since the last time we saw over an inch of snow. Right now we're looking at the winter radar, continuing to watch that snowfall coming in overnight tonight. Could even see a little bit of sleet and maybe even freezing rain mix in to our south as we start to watch that freezing line wiggle its way a little bit more northward. We're continuing to watch some of those heavier bands also make their way through the area. One that we saw earlier bringing in that burst of snow. Right now still seeing pretty heavy snowfall across the area, but to our south it's becoming a little bit more of a mix across the region, including a little bit of freezing rain and maybe even a little bit of sleet across the region as well. As we head into the night tonight, again, that could turn more into sleet. We've seen storm reports just in the last 12 hours, some reports to our south, some sleet as well as some freezing rain. Majority of them for us here in the Triad as well as much of North Carolina have been mainly just snow for now. But I'm expecting that freezing line to continue to move northward into the night tonight. So expect more freezing rain possible as well as sleet overnight tonight, which will cause some hazardous traveling possible for tomorrow. Some slick spots on the roadways. Storm reports within the last 6 hours. We've seen plenty of them across the Triad, with storm reports up to around an inch or so of snow from this system that we watch. And these snowflakes are just huge that you see coming down, and they're just continuing to compact and accumulate across the area. This was snow in Lexington at around 1:20. We had only seen around an hour or so of snowfall in Lexington before this picture was taken, and you can see the majority of the grass here in the roadway was completely covered in some of the snow, and also in some of the bit of the background as well. You can see those big flakes also continuing to come down across the area. That was taken by Lexington Fire Department Jerry Tysinger. Local temperatures right now have cooled off. We're right back in the mid to upper 20s across the area. 25 in Greensboro, 27 in Burlington, 26 right now in Winston-Salem. And we are just cooling off these next several hours. 26 in Pleasant Garden and in Liberty, 28 in Elon, 27 right there in Burlington. PTI Airport, we're at 25 degrees, 26 here in McLeansville, and 26 also in Winston-Salem. All across our area, we're going to be in the 20s and continue to stay there overnight tonight, with the snow coming down as well as with the freezing rain and possible sleet into tonight as well. Temperatures and feels like we're in the mid to upper 20s, but we're feeling like we are in the teens across the area, and boy is it cold out here. Winter storm warning is in effect from now until 7 o'clock tomorrow morning for all of the counties that you see right here in pink. And what that means is we are expecting this winter precip to continue all throughout the night tonight and into early tomorrow morning. For us, majority of us in the Triad, I'm expecting around 2 to 4 inches of snowfall, but places up in the mountains or in the foothills may also even see 3 to 6 inches in some of those higher elevations. However, on the flip side, to our south, we may only get to see around 1 to 2 inches, with a little bit more ice accumulating in the forecast with some sleet as that freezing line kind of continues to wiggle north overnight tonight. Let's zoom out just a little bit so I can just show you how widespread this storm is and bringing its impacts. Everywhere that you see that is in pink is under a winter storm warning. That is several states across the region. Even a winter weather advisory now issued for portions here of southeastern North Carolina and also parts of South Carolina toward the coastline. Right now in Greensboro, the flakes continue to come down. We're in the middle 20s. Feels like we are in the teens across the area. Blowing Rock actually in the teens, 18 degrees right now. They already had a little bit of snow from last weekend, and now they're getting an additional 3 to 6 inches from this system. It's just a winter wonderland right now in Blowing Rock. And honestly, even right here in the WFMY Weather Garden, if you could see the flakes coming down, if not, maybe just take a step outside, because they are coming down, and they're coming down quick at that, and they're sticking, and they're going to continue to stick overnight. Futurecast low pressure is going to continue to move its way to our south. We're going to be watching this system pass us by early into tomorrow morning. I'm expecting the majority of this moisture to be out of our hair by around 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning at the latest. It is going to be taking that most of that cloud coverage with it and moving offshore by the time we're into the later morning hours. On the back end of the day Saturday, we're going to be seeing much more sunshine, especially into the day on Sunday. High pressure is going to be building into the area. We're going to be seeing highs, though, back into the mid to upper 30s. So weather impact alert is in effect from now until 9 a.m. on Saturday. If that changes, we'll continue to let you know. Again, we're expecting snow for now, heavy at times, especially with these bursts of snow and heavier bands from this system. Then we could be seeing a snow or sleet mix overnight in some places, especially likely for southernmost counties, which are actually, if it's not the snow and it's ice instead, we'll be seeing lower accumulation. So what you need to do is make sure you are avoiding travel at all costs throughout this period, because all it takes is one slick spot for you to get into an accident. Winter radar for right now, we've been keeping eyes on more and more bands of this snowfall continuing to make its way toward our area. Futurecast, we're keeping a very close eye on what you see right here in pink and even a little bit in purple, what we saw on the radar just a moment ago. This is what is representing that mixed precip where we see freezing rain as well as sleet possible in this area. And that's what's really going to cause some issues in terms of traveling overnight and into tomorrow morning. If you don't need to travel tomorrow morning, please do not. Please stay at home until the roads have been cleared throughout the morning and especially by the afternoon. Should be better by tomorrow night, I would say as well, but it is going to refreeze again. So just keep that in mind too. We're going to be seeing the majority of this moisture start to move out overnight and into early tomorrow morning. By around 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, exiting our area, moving off our coastline by around 8 or 9 o'clock. Taking that cloud coverage with it, we're going to be nice and sunny thereafter, especially into the day on Sunday and also into next week. Expected snow and sleet across our area, the majority of us in the 2 to 4 inch range. Toward the south with a little bit more icy conditions and sleet, going to be a little bit less, more so in the 1 to 2 inch range for Randolph and even southern up to more south of that here in Montgomery, up to around a trace to an inch or so of that sleet and rain and snowfall. To our north, though, you exceed totals that are even higher, though. We're expecting between 3 to 5 inches of snowfall within this period all the way into tomorrow morning. Freezing rain risk, as I mentioned, is going to be higher for our south. We can expect up 1/10 of an inch all the way up to 1/4 of an inch possible, especially for Montgomery County. But then as we go up just a little bit less and less and less, a glaze, though, up to around 1/10 of an inch of possible freezing rain into the overnight hours. So we'll be keeping a very close eye on that and keep you updated on what to expect. Just go ahead and assume that the roads are going to be slick overnight tonight as well as into the day tomorrow. Storm timing, again, we've been watching the snow build in for the last several hours. Overnight tonight, that snow could mix with some sleet, creating some icy conditions difficult for traveling. So snow and sleet is going to end into tomorrow morning. By the afternoon, though, there's still going to be some slick spots across the area, even with the sunshine returning to the region. Current look at our traffic map. We've been watching this all day with the snow building into our area. We've been watching as these have kind of been turning from, the nice greens and yellows more towards the oranges and even some road closings across the area. Lots of accidents. Wanting to zoom in right now in portions of Forsyth, where we see one part of the area that's experiencing more congestion, 7 miles per hour on I-40 West, U.S. Highway 311. We're watching that, as well as another area across on 40 that's experiencing modern congestion across the area. Zooming out, though, across the area, just don't travel unless you absolutely have to. And if you do, just make sure you're taking it slow. Storm timeline, again, sleet and snow is going to be expected overnight tonight into early on tomorrow. Freezing rain is going to be possible later into tonight, but more so for counties that are to our south, like Randolph, as well as for Montgomery. Of course, dangerous travel is going to be all throughout this period, continuing from now until early tomorrow morning until people have the chance to clear some roads. We're also keeping an eye on power outages across the area. Again, not a huge threat, but something that we're certainly watching with the freezing rain that freezes on contact with anything at the surface, plus the sleet and a little bit of accumulated snow that could cause an issue with downing power lines and maybe even some trees across the region. Snow potential we're continuing to watch, but for the majority, this is one model showing us between 2 to 4 inches mainly for our area. Again, lighter as you go toward the south, more as you head toward the north. Hour by hour, again, heading into tonight, that snow sleet mix is going to be likely heading into tonight with temperatures sitting in the 20s. As for your 7-day forecast, we're slowly seeing the sunshine. We're back and returning heading into this weekend, but it is going to be a little bit warmer. We're back in the upper 30s, right at around 40 degrees. Nice and dry for Sunday and Monday. That's going to be the warmest day of the week. Is going to be on Monday. We're back in the middle 40s. By the middle of next week, we're back in the mid 30s. Going to be a cold one before we slowly start to warm up by next Friday.